gonna start. Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone. Let me make sure I'm doing my part, and I'm going to hold on, guys. Give me a second. Just want to make sure that everything is good to go. Okay, good. I see us. Okay, good. So let me share this to the groups. Let me share this to Boss Builder Nation. Okay. Let me share this to all the groups. Let me share this to the pages so that we can get started. Let me go to comments. Hey, okay, I'm saying, hey, Jen. Hey, hey, Autumn. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey, guys. Let me share this to the page where we get started. Okay. Yeah, just so I can make sure I'm doing my part before we get the game started.
Sure.
Okay, guys. Hello. We're going to get started. I do not want to waste any time, but it is a weekend. We know you guys are taking out your time to spend time with us. But before we get started into tonight, I want to introduce our special guest, which is, of course, none other than Miss Heather Thompson. If you are on the Genesis Dorsey Facebook page, then you have seen her face already. But we wanted to make sure that she's getting a full, proper introduction. She's officially the life coach at GenesisDorsey.com. And so one of the things that we really want to introduce more and more, especially in the coming weeks, is just the amazing power team that we have that have their own businesses, their own coaching programs, their own products, their own services. And so really this is a collaborative partnership effort. But we wanted to make sure that every coach that you see is you're understanding their mind. And what I love about Heather is there's two things. Her beauty is inner and it's also outer. And I think what makes, especially that what we're going to talk about, this book, True Boss, so special is that when you read it, because I read it over my vacation, that was beautiful, but this was the perfect book to help me relax because it really was an introspective experience. And so as we get ready for the book club, this video just simply serves as the video that we're going to send out to everybody in the tribe. So if you're watching this video, you're watching the replay because you got this in your email, then hello. We want to give you some information about the book club that is coming. You guys had asked about a book club, and I didn't want to start with a book that, was read by, millions across the world. People had already heard it. I wanted to get something fresh, something just hot off the press. And Heather had wrote a book called True Boss, and I read it, and I was like, oh, we're doing this. Like, we are doing this book. And so this talk is going to serve as an intro for you to, number one, meet and have an official introduction to Heather, who's the author. Number two, understand what this book is about and why you need to buy it before we start book club on September the 1st. And then third, to give you some information to sign up for book club. So Heather, can you first just introduce yourself? Who are you? You're a stranger. So I'm sure a lot of people who are part of Boss Builder Nation like, okay, I've seen her face, but I still don't know who she is. So who are you? And we'll jump into the book after that.
Well, guess what? I'm going to start off with one of my favorite quotes from Jan Van Zandt. Who am I? I am a child of God, free and able to choose. And I love what I do. For those of you who are like, okay, exactly, who is this woman? I've seen her on Genesis page. Well, I'm a Clarity Life coach for women, and I am an author and a speaker. And my focus is on transforming worn out women into whole women through clarity-based coaching. And I'm in the greater Atlanta, Georgia area. And it is really my passion to help everyone. But when it comes to women, I'm noticing so many of us have gotten to a point where we're just functioning. We're not really, we talk about, I'm living my best life, but it's like, actually not really. Mm-hmm. And we're surrounded by people doing the same thing. So we're all just hyping each other off of a lot of hidden brokenness. And that's what I am all about, helping you to address that brokenness, whether you want to or not. and making sure that those little cracks that we try to gloss over don't turn into chasms and allow it to become wider and wider to the point that we don't even realize what we're doing. That gets passed on generationally. And that's why I say, if I'm working with you, it stops with me. That's the purpose.
I love it. Well, let's talk about this because, y'all. Okay, so let me first, before we get into this, because we do have, of course, we have strategy, we have points that we're going to cover and all that beautiful stuff. But when it came to True Boss, why did you write, first of all, what is True Boss? And why did you write this? Why did you write True Boss? What is it about? Why should we care?
We should care because too many of us are doing exactly what is within True Boss. When I talk about this book, I talk about one of the lines that stood out to me when I wrote it. And it was, is in all of our getting, in all of our slaying that we're doing out here, like talking about, I slay this, I slay that. Are we also killing our understanding? And something that our grandparents may say, even our parents, they say that we have a lot of opportunities now. We have so much education, but we don't really have any intelligence, spiritually speaking, emotionally speaking. And now that we're coming into a time where we're willing to investigate who we are, I'm like, okay, let's do that on every level. Because this book was really written saying, I want to be successful. And success is put into this image of, well, it looks like this. It talks about your bank account, your particular career, your aspirations. But what I don't believe that God wants is to have so many of us get to the positions of leadership, get the income that we want, get the ability to mentor, but we're still doing it embittered. We're doing it with issues that we've never dealt with. So now we've become the leaders that a lot of us left corporate America and said, I want out of my job, I want to pave my own way. Now we become, or are becoming, those bad bosses, those people you don't want to work for and with. How can that do anything good in the earth? And for those who believe, how can God get any glory out of that? He really can't. So that's what this book is really dedicated to. Like, we want to have true bosses, not just those who look like it on the outside, but inside and out, you are radiating with a particular goodness and the ability to lead, as John Maxwell says, from the middle. You have heart-centered leadership that believes in not just power, but definitely being in authority while being submitted to it.
This is so good. Okay, so I love it. I love it because when I first opened up and I kind of was reading the intro and we talked about why you wrote it. At first I was thinking, this is not for me because I feel like I don't have any major issues. I feel like, I've kind of got everything together. And then I start reading, I was like, okay. Okay, this book is for me because a lot of times, again, this book, in my opinion, is not just about, are you, because, I think some people say, well, I don't have any issues when it comes to, I wouldn't compare myself to the bad bosses I've had. I wouldn't.
Right.
But one of the things that I'll never forget, me turn to this, in the book, there is, in the first section, there is some intro aspect of work. You turn to this. And I'll never, so let me just read it. It says, please be honest. Even in answering these questions for yourself, and there were some previous questions that I had to answer, it says, does being vulnerable scare you? And I was just like, okay, should my tears write this sentence? Should a pen write this? Let me get a pencil so I can erase some things. But it was crazy because just in the first area of this book, I would really take a step back, and that's why I love this, because it's not just really a book. It's like a book mixed with a workbook, mixed with like a study guide. It just really where you don't just read it, you work through the book. And by the time you get done this book, it is a actual experience, which is why, we picked it for book club, because I really believe that over the course of 4 weeks, it's almost going to be like we're in a 4-week class. Where we're talking about the book, we're talking about our feelings, talking about, what we're experiencing while we're reading, what's coming out of us while we're reading. So let's dive into our discussion tonight. And Heather, I'm going to let you take over because you are, this is the mind of the author, okay? I'm going to, I'll ask questions here and there, But
Okay.
I want you to, again, because this is really laying the groundwork for what we're going to experience in the book. But I know that you have 3 key nuggets that you wanted to make sure that our tribe got down pat before we
Yes.
started, this whole experience in September. So can
Mhm.
you take me through these key points, things that, again, as we're theming tonight. Now, what is tonight's theme, Heather?
Tonight's thing is coming back to the middle, keeping your
Yes.
focus. Yes.
Yes, coming back to the middle. So why
Yes.
why do you believe that we need to come back to the middle? Why do you believe that it's so important for us to get our focus back? I actually did a teaching it might have been a month ago, about getting your focus back, right? How it's time to get your focus back. We're about to hit 2020. We're about to go into a whole other decade, and there's so many people who have spent their lives living but not living. In other words, they spent their lives maintaining, going to work, doing all these things, but never really living their full life, never really seeing, the full potential, and kind of removing some things out of their lives and getting themselves in position. So can you take us through, number one, why is it important? And then take us through these 3 keys that you really wanted to make sure that we get from coming back to the middle, coming back to that middle.
Well, coming back to the middle for me is essential because a lot of us have learned how to branch out. A lot of us have learned, and I don't just mean in terms of career, but where it's like, okay, I need to get this set of friends if I want to be successful. I need to make sure I'm hanging out over here. I need to join this organization. Sometimes you end up becoming all things to all the different people, but not in the way that Paul was talking about.
Mm,
You end up becoming a lot of labels, a lot of titles. You get accustomed to being, I remember a pastor speaking about this once. He was like, depending on where I was, you could define me by my circle, but it wasn't necessarily me. It was whomever I was in front of. I was reflecting them, kind of like a chameleon. And
mm,
I said, that's really what the problem is. A lot of us are so many different personas. We're not necessarily the person we're supposed to be.
mm,
And that's why I don't think there is any way that you can truly be successful without doing some self-examination first.
mm,
I think why you want to come back to the middle is because you want to make sure that the middle, your core, your spirit, what makes you you, your soul, which is comprised of your mind, will, and emotions, you need to be good with all of that. Do you know why you want to succeed? Are
mm,
you trying to look good for somebody else? Are you trying to live up to some words somebody spoke over you and said that you'll never be anything? So now you're trying to be everything, but it's nothing that
mm,
was intended for your life.
mm,
Coming back to the middle is really, if for some, it's like, you know what, I haven't gotten on my knees to pray and focus in such a long time. I basically say grace. I basically say, thank you, God, would I avoid an accident? And that's it.
mm,
But the middle is so many different things for so many people. So I'm really saying, come back to your core, the
mm,
core essence of who you are. And it's essential that we do that, because if not, if you don't get it, I remember hearing Oprah Winfrey speak about this once. She said, just paraphrasing, she's like, when it comes to the things you're missing, the things that you don't understand, life will throw you a pebble.
mm.
Then it'll throw you a larger stone. After a while, you're going to get hit with a brick. And then you're going to say, wait a minute. Okay, I was supposed to learn this lesson some time ago. Let's avoid the bricks, y'all.
Yeah.
That's the point. A lot of us don't figure out who we are, or that we even made too many left turns, until trauma comes, knocks us on our backs. And
Mm,
then that's the final time that we're still enough, knocked on our backs, to look up at God and say, wait a minute, where did I go wrong?
yeah.
It shouldn't always take trauma or not even just trauma, but it shouldn't always take a layoff. It shouldn't always take um, some other opportunity to help us understand what's going on. We need to be present.
Mm,
We really do.
this is so good. So when we talk about, again, Boss, here's the book. So when we talk about this, what are the three points that you really want to drive home with us tonight, as far as how do we actually come to the middle? How do we get back to the middle?
I would say the 3 things really. You want to focus on making sure that you're protecting and securing the mission and vision that God has for you. And you want to do that. You want to, because doing so helps you safeguard your primary focus.
Hmm.
Every time that you get up, you should know, okay, this is what I want to focus on. This is my why. If you don't know what that is, whether it's your children, if you're a parent, whether it's wanting to break the cycle of poverty, whether it's wanting to be who you've always seen yourself as, whatever the case is, only you know, and that's personal and it cannot be judged. But you have to make sure that you're keeping that primary focus ahead of you. And since this is the intro night, I didn't want to get too deep. These are primary steps we can all walk away from doing this evening. Number one, eliminate the indefinite friends. And what I mean by that is anybody who is like, I don't know quite where I stand with you. If you say you've got something going on, they can't really support you, or you can't really support them, because now who you are and who they are such different people. And I'm not down with the whole idea of, no offense to Drake, no new friends. If you are saying that you're going to go out here and do everything God's called you to do, if you're saying, I've got a particular business, whatever, you have got to branch out. You've got to know more people, and people that are where you are and people that are ahead of where you are, so that those where you are can remind you of what you are all working towards without any jealousy. And then those who are ahead of you to say, okay, wait a minute, you might not want to do that, or here's how this worked out for me. I can give you some insight. So I would say those friends, eliminate the friends that you're questioning already, because the questions are only going to increase. Number two, expand your influences. That falls right on with number one. You can't always be who you've been. Keep the good things about you. But when you say that you're on a journey of transformation, you got to say, okay, there's some things that I have to become. What is it that I need to do? For some of you, it may be changing some of the music you listen to, or when you're in the car, instead of just playing, your Apple Music or whatever else you want to play, turn on NPR, see what's going on in the world around you. Join some organizations of like-minded individuals who want what you want out of life. And make sure that you're listening to elders who can give you some nudges here and there, give you some advice. As I was saying a few moments ago, we don't need to run into the bricks and the trauma and fall down every single time to learn. I heard Tyler Perry say recently that he paid for his particular education. He said that he got the equivalent of a Harvard education several times over in the amount he had to pay for the mistakes that he made, for the things that he did. He's like, he paid so much out that it was worth an Ivy League education a number of times. We don't always have to run into roadblocks to realize that things are a problem. So that's why I say expand your influences. Make sure that you're keeping more around you than just what you've known. Go beyond that. And the third one was get and keep accountability partners and organizations. Organizations like Boss Builder Nation. When you're in groups like this is where you have the opportunity to really get to know more people and keep these connections. Any good entrepreneur worth their salt will tell you some of the closest friends they've made on this journey. And not just entrepreneurs, but those who are going further and further in their careers, going beyond a job, but saying, truly, this is what I'm supposed to do. Some of their best friends or closest people are people they've met online, people they've met on Instagram and they bonded with at masterminds and conferences. Those events can change your life. Make sure that those people end up becoming accountability partners, and make sure you're doing the same for them. You don't just want to be someone who takes, but that you're someone who gives. So eliminate those indefinite friends, like I'm not sure where you stand, those shaky ground people. Expand your influences, go beyond what you knew, and get and keep accountability partners and organizations that can help you maintain.
Yes, I love these things. So again, what we're learning, just from this conversation, in my opinion, is the fact that we have to prepare because we're on a journey, and we have to make sure, just like you're going on a journey, making sure that my suitcase for this journey is not is also can't be too light. I need some stuff, but I also need to make sure that before I go and before I get on this journey, that I'm eliminating distractions, right? I'm eliminating things that are going to prevent me from really seeing the journey how I should, right? Getting connected to the right people. So as I get in this car, making sure I got the right people in the car with me as I'm going, so that I'm not going to waste my time, right? I'm not going to waste my time pursuing things that really are not what I've been called to do, right? Because I feel like
Right.
you get around the wrong people, you could be around successful people, but they're still distractions. And I think sometimes
Yes.
we use success with focus, right? But
Yes.
I can actually become distracted when I get around focused people, but their focus is not my focus, right? Like they're making money, they're successful, but that's not the journey or the place that I'm going. And I know
Yes.
for me, when I was reading True Boss, one of the things I really learned was that, I love the way in this book that you continuously define success because it's very holistic and it's not just money, right? It's not
Right.
the look. I never forget, even even in the intro where you talked about, the train or the subway experience that you had and the cop, how he told you about, how, you must not be around here because, you're nice and you're kind and you're warm, basically. And, that's going to wear off soon. You won't always be like that. And I hearing that story because he expected your heart to be hardened by what you would soon encounter, living in the big city and all that kind of stuff. And he's on how a lot of times as well, people are addicted to struggle. They're addicted to a hardened heart, or that's all that they see in the world. So that's what they expect for you to have. And I think the other thing that this book does is that it really changes not just how you see yourself, but making sure that you protect how you see yourself despite what others will say. And I think
Yes.
that I especially got that from that. I mean, that was powerful for me. So what will people experience when they read this book? Because again, we start September the 1st. They're going to need, of course, to purchase the book. I'm going to give you guys the information on how you can do that. But again, we kind of talked about in the beginning, but I just kind of want to sum it up again. Why again should this book be read? Again, we got until September the 1st. We're going to start September 1st with chapter 1. I want us to come back, just kind of wrap me back around. Why
Right.
they get this? Now, I love it, so I'm reading. I got mine.
Well, I can't thank you enough, but I have to say, you should get this book because we don't need to talk about living our best lives anymore and not actually doing it. And your best life is the one that was intended for you when you came to this earth. You can't allow it to constantly be redefined, and that's what True Boss is about. It started with me continually meeting women who seemed like they had it all together. And I would always think, God, why is this happening? Because I would end up having a conversation with them that I didn't start, but they did. Like, I need to talk to someone. And they'd break down on me, not coaching sessions, but just women I met. And I started writing this book thinking, God, it was really about them. It was really about understanding that we think success is really about how you appear. And it's not the kind of success that I've seen and admire the most, which I started writing about continuously in the book, was breaking things down to the core essential of who you are and saying, do I mind if the world sees this? Do I mind if the world sees that? Because everything that you are comes out in entrepreneurship, it comes out in love, and it comes out in leadership, though, and pain as well. Those four things will truly show you who you are. So if you're saying, I want to be a particular kind of boss, I want to move through the earth like this, make sure that what you have within you is not going to weigh those moves down. So True Boss, or stop them altogether. So True Boss is designed to help you start at a bird's eye view where where you see me talking about myself, and I bring everything back down to you. And you'll see that in what I call, every single chapter has what I call intro work at the end of it, because you're focusing again and again at the end of each chapter. And they're quick, brief reads. You're not reading War and Peace here. This is meant to be simple. And every chapter, I'm giving you questions to think about, and they're really just for you. And maybe something you can discuss with other people as well, which is the point of this. But I want to take you down to the essentials of who you are, and in a way that's going to honor who you are. And then I close the whole chapter the whole book with just a love letter that I wrote to everyone in there, because I think too many of us aren't built up anymore. We're torn down, and then we build ourselves up with the inessential. These labels, these shoes, this money over here, this dude said I'm cute, this woman said I'm fly, whatever the case is. But if those things are taken away, who are you?
Mm.
So we got to be about whole leadership. True Boss is meant to be the first step towards you taking that leadership journey and making sure that you're able to say, I'm whole every step that you take.
And, you know, I think for me, the reason why I really want us to do this book is because, you know, at Boss Builders, we're all about building platforms.
Yes.
And I think that we're in a world, though, where we think that platforms are for us. We think that we're building them almost as idols to us.
Yeah.
And we manage our numbers, the money that we make, and we rate our platforms against each other. You know, I've met so many people come and go. They're like, "Oh my God, I want to be like this. I want to have this much money. I want to be bringing this." And I'm just like, that's not what it's about. You know, of course, I want you to be profitable. Of course, I want you to, you know, make money with your mind. But we don't build platforms for us. We build platforms so that our gifts can be a blessing to people. But a lot of times, what I've seen is that, and I've been in so many circles around different influencers and, you know, big boss entrepreneurs. And what happens is that it becomes a boast job of what I've achieved for me, you know, not even for others. It becomes, this is what I've achieved for me. Into atmospheres where it's about really who can show off the most of their earthly possessions, you know, as being established people, you know.
Yes.
Then it's always the, you know, sometimes it's the thing where I pose in front of a certain car and then I say, hey, if you want to live like me, if you want to be at this level, you know, join this program or da-da-da. And so we become jaded by the physical, by the things that taken away, because for us, a lot of times we're building our life off of perception and not purpose. We're building our lives of how do people see me? I want to change how people see me. So I'm going to become this person that will please them. No. If we're going to become the true boss, we got to read it. We not just read it, but that's why we're doing the book club starting September the 1st. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. Now, Heather and I, we're going to be sitting down and she's going to be guiding us through this book. We're going to be sitting down for no longer than 30 minutes a night, so it won't be that long, just like tonight. But what I love is that we're not just going to read the book, we're going to live the book. Okay, we're going to take this book and we're going to apply it each week. You only have to read a chapter a week, except for I think it's week 4. You got to read 2 chapters. But the book is a very short read. It's not long enough. I picked this on purpose because I believe it's something that everybody can do. So you can't say, oh my God, I'm on chapter 35. No, you will be able to do it very quickly. But what I love is that we're going to add the teachings to it so that as you read, we can discuss, we can teach, we can talk. And so again, how can people get this book? Now, of course, I guess I would answer that question, right? So,
yes,
so guys, I would answer that question. So if you want to join the book club, again, we start September the 1st. We're going to meet for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I'm going to make sure I'm saying that right. Let me just double check because no one, I'll say 4 and it's supposed to be 5.
I think it might be 5.
Yeah, I think it's 5. Genesis Dorsey / So if you want to go and learn about this, it's going to be again, and here's the thing, you're going to go to genesisdorsey.com /book. So my name, genesisdorsey.com /book. And it's going to take you, and I'm actually going to show you guys the landing page so you can see what it looks like when you go there. Give me 1 second. Okay, awesome. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Let's share the screen. I'm going to share the screen. Share the screen. Let's the window. Share. Okay, there we go. So, guys, this is what it looks like when you go to genesisdorsey.com /book. You're going to go here, okay? And what you're going to see is you're going to see the book, which is right here. You're going to see True Boss. It's as you scroll down, you can actually read about the book. You can meet Heather here. You can read about the book, and then you can buy the book. The book is $14.99. When you click this button, it's going to take you here. Give me 1 second. where you can purchase Heather Thompson's book. Give me a second, my internet kind of lagging, so listen. Okay, so you can purchase a True Boss, which is right here. It is an ebook. When you purchase it, you will get the downloadable sent to your email, so you can immediately start reading it. But if you want to join the book club, you're going to have to. Again, when you go to genesisdorsey.com/book, you can put in your email and your first name. When you click on Count Me In, you will officially be on the email list for the book. Now, why is that important? Because when you join the book club, you're going to get sent to your email immediately the chapter assignments for each week. So we got, how many weeks is it again, Heather?
5.
5. So actually it's 5. Okay. Every Sunday in September. And so when you get the email, it already has that stuff in there. So it's going to have each week, it has each chapter. I just don't remember off the top of my head, but it'll have all that stuff in the email. It'll have the link to join the Facebook group. If you're already not a part of Boss Builder Nation here on Facebook, you want to click that link, join the Facebook page, join the Facebook group, because that's where it's all going down. But if you're going to participate, you're going to need the book. And on top of that, for those who purchase the book, we're going to be doing a roll call in the group. For those who purchase the book, you will be able to have a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. So we're giving away a $25 Amazon gift card. And then check this out. Every week, so that means week 1, someone's winning the $25 gift card, but then week 2, 3, 4, and 5, someone's going to win a $10 Amazon gift card as well. But it's for those who are participating, for those who are reading. So I really want to sow into those who are actually a doer. We talk about the Bible being a doer of the word. Well, there's a lot of people who purchase books and don't read them. There's a lot of people who join book clubs, and guess what? They don't do anything at all, right? Oh, yeah. So we want to make sure that we are focusing on actually reading. I cannot tell you guys the number of people I know who boast of all the books they've read. I've been at dinner tables and I've said, I love the book. I love Dale Carnegie's book. Matter of fact, where's my suitcase? Is it? Oh, I think my backpack is back here. I bought a book by Dale Carnegie on public speaking. And I was talking to somebody, said, oh yeah, I love that book. I said, oh really? I said, what were some favorite piece of chucks? I've just started a book. Oh man, the whole book is great. Okay. So chapter 1, I'm getting started on. Did you read? Or I just read Entrepreneur Magazine. I was talking about online how much I loved it, how much I loved the book. Oh my God, I love the magazine. I was reading about Shaq. I was reading about Shaquille O'Neal. I was reading about Warby Parker and the owner and his wife and how they run it. And so someone said, oh man, I love that edition. Oh my God, just came out. I read it. I said, oh my God. So what did you think about Tamara Mellon and how she was bankrupt and how she came back after she was working with Jimmy Choo? Oh man, I thought it was wonderful. Okay, what'd you like about the article? So why? People aren't really reading the book. They ain't really reading the book. So here's what I need you to do. I need you, listen, $15. That's it. It's $14.99. And think about this. You buy the book, but you're gonna get all the teachings too. So if you went to Starbucks and bought, I know today I bought a $5 iced green tea lemonade. Okay, it was $5. So I bought 3 of them across 3 days. That would already pay for my book. Now I already paid for my book. I paid for my book before all y'all paid for your book. I paid for the shit. I paid it. Why? Because I also believe in sewing into a small business owner, right? So if we support them, we don't want it for free. We want to invest in their writing and their intelligence and their knowledge, just like we would want someone to invest in us. So guys, again, be sure to get True Boss. Again, when you join the book club, go to genesisdorsey.com/book. Okay. I will also be posting flyers. You'll be getting emails to join. So be sure to do your part. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys on September the 1st. Heather, any last minute words?
Get to reading it so that we can get to change.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we will see you later. Again, September the 1st, be sure to join Boss Builder Nation Book Club. Be sure to go to, again, genesisdorsey.com/book. We'll see you guys there soon. Okay, guys? See you guys later. We love you guys so much. Again, we'll see you guys September the 1st. Be sure to join Book Club, guys. See you later.